the more your expenses increase. You try to live according to the standards of your earnings, and this is something we all tell ourselves. Welcome to episode 2 of D-Steak with EduGlow Hub. This is where I do some videos, pretty much journaling my life about some habits I have acquired through my reading, through the books I've been reading this year. And in the moment, we are on episode 2 of talking about the psychology of money and some things I have learned from psychology of money, and there's some things I'm applying in my life about this book. So this is the second episode. If you haven't watched the first one, please go to my YouTube channel and watch so that you can stay in tune with everything we talk about. So today's episode, we're going to talk about your money habits. What are the money habits that this book has really taught me? I may not talk about all the habits necessarily, but I'm going to point out some things that the book has helped me reflect on about my life and finances, and some changes I have made along the way. I used to believe that the more money you made, then it meant your life would be fine. And in my second job, I talked about my first job in my first video. In my second job, my salary doubled, to some extent tripled, because I was making so much money on the sides. And I thought, this is it, the big break I was waiting for. And I would never have to struggle financially. And guess what? Two years down the line, I was still the same person struggling financially. And it's not that I didn't have money at my disposal. And I'm not saying more money is a problem. I'm just trying to say that the more money you make, the more your expenses increase. You try to live according to the standards of your earnings, and this is something we all tell ourselves. And in the process, we increase our expenses, and they end up taking up the more money we were hoping for. More salary, more money is not bad. A bigger salary is not bad. It's just how you manage it to make sure that it takes care of you, not just in the moment, but also in your future. So what kind of habits are you looking into earning? I didn't have these habits then, and that's why, despite my salary, despite my income really multiplying, I still struggled financially because I did not have the means to ensure that I'm making very good use of my money, to ensure that I'm saving for the future, or I have money just in case of an emergency. So I wasn't really just living from hand to mouth, like we mentioned before. So this book has taught me that more money does not necessarily fix your bad spending habits. Okay, it just facilitates them. The higher your income, the more you have at your disposal to waste. Now, by waste here, this wasting is relative. What I consider wasting may not be wasting to you. What you consider wasting may be not wasting to me. So that word is very relative, and that's why I'm going to use some quotes. So unless you learn to change your habits, by habits here, by the money habits you expect her to change in this case mean you're thinking about things like spending. How much money are you spending? Now that you're making more money, does it mean you can eat out more, or can you still eat in, make your own food, still meal prep every week, and still have more money to put aside for your investments? By habits here, we mean changing things like, now you have a better salary. Does that mean you need to upgrade your car, for instance? Is your car not serving you in the state it is? Because the bigger the car, the more expenses that come with it. You might need to get a loan. Now you have a loan to service to buy that car. So these are some of the things you need to look at and think to yourself, do I really need this? Is this really important? Is it a habit I'm cultivating in my financial life? If you, at your level, you're living in a house that you can easily afford, it's comfortable, everything in it is okay, and then your salary increases, probably doubles or triples, do you really need to move to a bigger house, or can you still do with that house and then now start channeling the extra money to something that can generate more income to you? We're going to be looking at all these things later in the series. So these are some of the money habits I'm talking about when I say change your money habits. Is look at how you spend your money, look at how you react when you get more money, and then check if that's something you really need to work on before you get your next raise. Because like I said before, this book is all about your behavior with money. Your behavior with money determines your lifestyle. Your behavior with money determines how you treat money when you have it, how you think about money, and how you view money generally, like we've mentioned before. When you get more money, it doesn't necessarily mean you get a lifestyle upgrade. You can keep your lifestyle, and instead of upgrading your lifestyle, invest more, save more, put your money in projects that might generate you extra income. Take care of those. Put money somewhere where it's gonna take care of your recurring expenses. I don't know what this might look like to you. So one thing that has really changed for me through reading this book is that wealth is what you do not spend. Wealth is the money you don't spend. Wealth is the money you put aside to probably get you more money. Wealth is the money you put aside for your future. That is your wealth. The money you spend, those are your expenses, and they do not really count in this financial journey. You want a minimal expenses and more income, more wealth for yourself. Okay, so instead of asking yourself, how can I earn more money, just look through your money spending habits and ask yourself, how can I change my money habits to ensure that I have more money at my disposal, to ensure that I have more money to put in the project I want, in the investment I want. And this is something I am seriously working on. I have really cut on my expenses, and I am looking into channeling some of this money into investments, into projects that might generate me money, into projects that eventually I can liquidate to make some money for myself, building wealth for myself. So habits that promote wealth building. And I hope you find this useful and you use it as an opportunity to reflect on your own life as well and see where you can change, what you can change about yourself to build the wealth, to build that money that you're not spending, and instead make it work for you. So like I was saying, I'm still working on this myself. I am not there yet. I am not here to give you financial advice. I'm here to reflect on my life to see what's working for me and verbalize it. And I thought to film it and share it with someone else. Maybe you might get a thing or two from it. And also we can walk this journey together. Feel free to get into my comment section with anything you might find useful around the topics I'm talking about, anything that someone else might find useful around better habits, developing better financial habits, about managing finances better. And let's link up and connect and have this conversation together. So don't forget to subscribe